Good morning. I'm back on the AT in Pennsylvania. I've been home for 3 weeks and I just need to do something challenging. This is the most challenging trail in my neck of the woods, and so I figured, why not do the climb out of Palmerton at the Lehigh Gap? The weather is perfect. It's only supposed to be maybe 70 degrees today, and also the AT just rerouted 3.5 miles of the trail when you get to the top, so I want to check that out. And yeah, I don't know how far I'm gonna go. I'm thinking maybe a nice 10-mile round trip would be really great. And when I turn around and come back, I can take the bad weather route down the mountain because I've never done that. So yeah, let's go hiking. If you're going northbound, this is the turnoff to get into the town of Palmerton. I don't know if I've ever been to Palmerton. And there is the beginning of the climb. A lot of people are super intimidated about doing this climb, and I know I was the first time I did it, but you just have to be careful with where you put your feet. And this is like my favorite kind of hiking because it is a slow burn, so I never feel like I'm exhausted or running out of breath. And I like this part of the trail too because it's only 30 minutes away by car from where I live, and you are rewarded with a ton of really great views. For example, and also, so if you've ever hiked in Phoenix, Arizona, they have some trails that are just like this. One of which is right in Phoenix called Camelback Mountain, and it's a 1-mile boulder scramble to the top of Camelback Mountain. But then there's a trail on the backside that you can take as well. So if you do the whole mountain, I think it's like 3.5 miles. If you ever get a chance to do it, I recommend it. If you are afraid of heights or falling, this is going to be a challenge for you, but it's doable because you just have to take your time and be super focused. Gotta go up that. And another thing, if you have walked here from Georgia, you can totally do this, okay? Totally. You've already done 1,000 miles of hard. This is one of those places on the trail that you're going straight up, so your speed goes straight down. At least mine does. Takes me a minute to climb these things, and like I said, I don't mind climbing things like this because I don't get overheated because it's so slow and meticulous. There isn't really rain in the forecast, but I do think it's drizzling. And this is one of those spots where you just want to keep your center of gravity really low and use your hands. So inchworm your trekking poles along and just use your hands. Something else to keep in mind when you're doing this section is you want to look for the painted white blazes, because there are a lot of marks on these rocks that look like they could be white blazes, and you could easily find yourself in a precarious location like up there. Like I see painted marks, but those marks are graffiti. That is graffiti. Unless you're a real daredevil and you like that sort of thing. I am not. Another tip for doing this traverse is to test the rocks that you're stepping on, because some of them, even though they look gigantic and like they wouldn't move, they're wobbly. And I know the first time I hiked through Pennsylvania, my whole trip I was just constantly going I was just thinking to myself, I haven't seen any other hikers. And then another day hiker just came up behind me and scared me, because I am easily startled, believe it or not. I think we're through the hardest part of the climb, almost to the top. Here's a blue blaze, but I'm not sure what it goes to because it's not marked on the app. Okay, check it out. I've made it to the AT relocation that opened on June 4th. And I definitely remember hiking through there, but now the reroute goes this way. And I've heard nothing but great things about it. I wonder if Far Out has updated their app. Well, judging by the look of my app, Far Out has not updated the GPS track. Thank you to the crew that made this new bit of trail. I really appreciate your hard work and your efforts. So this reroute is actually 3.25 miles long. You can read more about it on the ATC's website, appalachiantrail.org. Oh my gosh, this is not disappointing. They gave us views, people. They gave us views. Wow. And another brand new view. This has been really, really nice. And I'm really glad that I came out to check it out. All right, crossing a nice forest road. Heading this way, following the blaze. And now we're on the north side of the ridge and have views of Palmerton. What I'm beginning to wonder is if that really, really blue blaze that I saw at the beginning of the reroute was indeed the trail, the new winter route blaze. Because I don't know. Gonna find out soon. Almost at the other end of the new reroute. Okay, we are intersecting with the old or original AT. They want you to go that way. There are the blazes. That looks like the old trail with all this brush laid out in front of it to make it very obvious it's not trail anymore. Right, okay. This is gonna be my turnaround point. think I'm gonna go back the way I came, look for the new blue blaze that I saw on that end, and go from there. I have encountered 3 northbound through hikers today. The first fella started hiking north in April, like the beginning of April. So he's been on the trail for 2 months. And then the 2 other fellas started the trail in February. So they were also older, so moving a little bit slower. And remember where the new Reroute crossed that beautiful forest road? I'm hiking on that now because I believe this is the winter trail, the winter bad weather bypass. This is following that black dotted line that I pointed out on the app. This winter trail / bad weather route is so nice, and I looked up for a minute and thought, oh no, I'm not going to be able to get through it because I've reached a fence. Okay, this is where it does come to an end. But I see a single track over here that hopefully is the right way. I think it is. Okay, I think this is the intersection of the old AT. And this goes towards the bad weather bypass. Yep, got a blue blaze. I guess the good thing is that this is completely findable if you follow the forest road coming southbound. Right now I'm facing the trail going down into Palmerton, and the old blue blaze route takes a sharp left there and goes up, and that brings you up to that forest road. Or if you were going northbound, you can see the blue blaze right there. That's going to take you to the new route. So I do think that really brightly colored blaze that I saw going northbound was the turnoff for this bad weather route, and they just haven't put signage there yet. This is just going to be tricky for the through hikers this year until they get some waypoints put in all of the guides and whatnot. The Far Out app, AWOL's guide, so on and so forth. It's definitely a little bit tricky. I think it would be easier to follow it if you're taking the bad weather route in the northbound direction, but it is totally findable. This bad weather bypass is still really steep and challenging. Okay, we've made it to the intersection where if you go that way, you can walk into Palmerton. And when you go this way, you'll get back to the main trail. And we avoided coming down all of that in front of us. Okay, I made it back to the turnoff. And I can see the good old BRT in the parking lot up there. Right, okay. That ended up being 8.5 miles. I enjoyed every minute of it and really enjoyed the new trail reroute. I am going to put links in the description to videos of when I did this section a few years ago with my niece and her husband, and also videos of Camelback Mountain in Phoenix. Thanks for coming along, and yeah, see you next time.